All right. So I'm going to do something I don't normally do on this show. We had a caller who called in and talked with Jenna and then backed out. Now, when you hear the topic, I don't blame him. Tough topic. But it left us in a lurch. Because Jenna schedules these calls out in advance. And as we sat around talking about this call, we thought, we're just going to go ahead and do the call without the caller. It's that good. So here's the question that we got. I'm going to read the email in its entirety. Jenna printed out the entire email for me. And here's what it said. Ben, you need to put some dramatic music at the beginning of this.
That can be arranged.
Excellent. Okay. So here's the question from Dean in South Carolina. Canceled at the last minute. How can I address, or should I address, the topic of my wife's weight? Married for 13 years with one child. I love her, but her weight is becoming an issue. She's always too tired to do anything. She sits on the couch and plays games on her phone. Our intimate life is lacking. She turns me down a lot because she's too tired. I ask her to go to the gym and she's too tired. She says she wants to lose weight, but then does nothing about it. I'm not a small guy, but I go to the gym 5 to 6 days a week. She refuses to go back. I am concerned for her health. That is the email. So, can we do this? Can I ask the two women in the booth? We all participate in this?
Happily.
Yes.
Should Dean address the topic of his wife's weight? Married for 13 years with one child.
I think there is a way to do it, yes.
Okay.
I don't know that it's the way he's currently doing it.
No.
But, there is a legit concern for somebody's health.
Well, and so this email's got 15 different issues in it.
Right. Oh, there are issues.
Yes.
Yes.
Jenna, when you first hear this, what happens inside of your body?
Ew, I don't like it. No.
Okay, why not?
I don't like the way he keeps calling her lazy. I don't like the way that he says, I go to the gym 5 to 6 times a week. And not to mention, we had talked about this before, they have one child. So we don't know how recent that was. It could be she's going through postpartum depression. However, I think, yes, address it, but like Kelly said, not the way we think he is.
So here's a whole bunch. This tells me this is a marriage in trouble, and weight is becoming the flashpoint of much bigger issues. So when I read this thing, and again, the caller bailed out, so we're just going to go with our side of the story here. Married for 13 years with one child. This is a tough season for marriages. Year 13, that year from 7 to 10 years, and it extends out a little bit. That's a tough season for marriages. So it's not uncommon for someone to be in year 13, they've got a kid, and they start to ask themselves, is this it? Is this what this is going to be? Right? The answer to that question 100% of the time is it doesn't have to be. Any group can change, any marriage can change at any moment and say, we're going to do something totally different. But I love her, but it's kind of like the old Southern, I don't want to gossip, but she's kind of, I almost said something so bad. You would have made me redo that, so I didn't say it. I don't want to say anything ugly about her, but
Bless her heart.
Bless her heart. She makes out with lots of boys, right? It's anytime you say the word "but," I love her, but you just throw "I love her" out the window. It doesn't count. So, her weight is becoming an issue. Then he transitions to she's too tired to do anything. She sits on the couch and plays games on her phone. Then he says we're not having sex. And then she says she rejects me a lot, which is different than we're not having sex. She rejects me a lot because she's too tired. I ask her to go to the gym, and she's too tired. She doesn't want to go work out with you, Beefcake 2000, right? So there's a couple things here. I want to start with the obvious. I have a friend. I don't even call him a friend. I got a guy that I know who gets home from work, walks in the front door, and heads straight for the refrigerator, grabs a beer, goes and sits on the couch and turns the TV on and does not move the rest of the night. Period. Doesn't. If there's no food being brought to him, he will just pull out his phone and order it. I've known this dude to order a single Jimmy John sandwich to his house just for him. He's got kids. That guy is lazy. Lazy. He's probably going through a bunch of crap and all that. He's got depression, whatever. That is lazy. There are people like that in the world. That may be the case here. Maybe. But this wife's not on the phone, so I'm going to go with probably not. Followed up with number 2. She's too tired to do anything. Hey, husband, maybe ask. Not in the middle of a heated fight, not when she's sitting on the couch looking half asleep, but on a date, on a Saturday morning. Hey, you look so exhausted. I want to walk through our life, the life that we lead together, and I want to find things that I can take off your plate. I want to be a better contributor on this house. And your first thought might be, I work all day. I don't give a crap. What can I do to help in this season, right? How can I help everybody be less tired, right? Kelly, Jenna, y'all pitch in at any moment here. The next one is our sex life is lacking. She turns me down a lot because she's too tired. Maybe. Or maybe I'm too tired is a way to keep you off of her for any number of reasons.
And I will also say, if she's put weight on, she's well aware. She knows. Trust me. She knows.
It's not like someone's ever sat down with their spouse and been like, hey, you've put on a bunch of weight. And they're like,
what?
No way.
I didn't notice. And so she may not feel very attractive right now. Because that's a legit thing. I understand that. She may not feel attractive.
And saying, I want you to come have sex with me is not a way to make somebody feel attractive.
Right.
Working really hard to let somebody experience that they are beautiful is totally different. Okay? I don't know how long I have to keep saying this, but men, trying to tell your wife how much you go to the gym as the precursor to get her to go to the gym is one of the toughest things you can do.
Because trust me, she already knows how much he goes to the gym because chances are she's home by herself dealing with everything while he goes to the gym.
What are you saying, Jenna? I get to see you lighten up in there, man.
Yeah, no, that would put me off. Also, I just realized too, at the end it says she refuses to go back. So in my mind, she's gone to the gym with him before. There's a reason now she's not going with you.
Yes.
More than, yeah.
And so husbands are often guilty of saying, let's go to the gym. And wife goes. And then he gives her the Mind Pump Anabolic workout program that's about an hour and 20 minutes. And she's never lifted before. And go like, this is how you do squats. And this is how you do split squats. And she's like, I don't feel comfortable in here. This whole day, everybody's looking at me. I what are we doing? The whole thing's awkward and awful. And then the next day, she's so sore that she can't breathe. And then he's snapping to a Slim Jim, and she's like, I'm not going back. Versus, hey, I'd love to go to the gym. You want to go to the gym with me? I've got my whole workout thing I'm going to do. And asking, is there anything I can help you with? And she can say, nope. Or she can say, I just don't even know how those things work. I don't even know what to do in there. I feel awkward and weird. Cool. Let's hire a personal trainer for 3 or 4 times. You can go by yourself. You can go on Saturday mornings when nobody's there. Or you can go at 10 a.m. when nobody's there, right? And we'll pay for childcare or whatever. But sit down and have that conversation versus just handing a workout and being like, go get them, right? Totally different program.
Yeah, or even like just start instead of maybe jumping right to the gym, like, hey, why don't we start going for like a walk?
Let's go for a walk.
Just getting outside and being together, maybe even having that time together of just you and her and having conversation, she'll open up more because chances are she's probably dealing with stuff that she's not talking to him about.
Because his answer is, suck it up, let's go. And that's not a great answer most of the time, especially to people we love. And I don't know why this is. It's one of the great mysteries of our world. But I have a PhD in counseling. You know who I don't give counseling advice to? My wife. Did you know my wife is kind of putting her on blast a little bit? It's kind of funny, but she doesn't listen to the show. She explained to me a few months ago this new stuff she had learned about how trauma works through its body. It works through a human body and how it gets lodged up in the nervous system. And she kind of walked me through this. And I said, I wrote a book on trauma called Own Your Past, Change Your Future that I think bought you a car. And she was like, yeah, but like, this is what I'm trying to explain. And at that moment, I just knew. I knew because I've been married for 20 years and I love her and I know. I just let her teach me about it. And that was awesome. And there was nothing about winning, and there was nothing about, why haven't you read my book? And what, because she listens to all those stories she's listened to all the stories forever. She lived many of those stories. And it's probably not good for her mental and emotional health to go read them again. But all I have to say is browbeating somebody into an exercise program is never helpful. Maybe sitting down and saying, hey, I go to the gym 5 to 6 days a week. I'm going to start going 3, which gives me 3 more days. It's a couple of hours a day between the drive there, the workout, and the drive back to go all in, plugging into this household. How can I help? Because I want you to know how much I love you. I want you to feel beautiful. I want you to feel like you've got some capacity to breathe and do some things that you want to do. And it's also fair to say, I feel like I'm losing you to your phone. That's different than, you're always on your phone. But saying, I'm losing you to your phone. I'm losing you to the couch. I'm losing you to the television set. And I feel like you're having an affair with an electronic device. I miss you. Am I hard to be around? Am I hard to be with? I know, right when I said having an affair with an electronic device, Kelly started laughing. So there you go. Just no. So can I ask y'all one more question?
Sure.
So is there ever a place for your husbands to sit across the table and say, I'm struggling with being attracted to you right now, or you've put on a whole bunch of weight in the last year or two, and I'm concerned for your health. I am struggling with attraction. I'm struggling with watching the person I love, how she feels about herself. Is there ever a place for that, in your opinion?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Jen and I had this conversation early, and we have different answers, but I would have agreed with her when I was her age. But now here I am a couple years later, and definitely there's a place for that, because it doesn't mean you love me any less. It probably means you love me more than I think you do, because you're willing to talk to me about this. But yes, attraction's a real thing. And
there's to me, it comes down to the way you do it and the reason you do
it. The reason is the most important, is because I love you so much and I want us to have this crazy sex life. And I want to want you kind of thing. And that says something, man, because that's going to be a big motivator for me. I think you're beautiful. I love you. And I want you to be healthier, because I know also when you feel better and you're healthier, you're more engaged. There's a lot of ways to do it that are appropriate and okay. Yeah, hard. Yeah, it's going to be hard. There's no question. But if you really love somebody and you intend for this relationship to continue, because if you don't, there's just going to breed resentment. You're going to find somebody else attractive.
And partridge in a pear tree. Here's how my wife has done it for me. In the few seasons over 20 years when I've just put on a bunch of weight, when I've gained 20 pounds doing this or doing that, the weight is almost always the canary in the coal mine. It's almost always the indicator that something in the ecosystem's off. And she has sat down and said, hey, you are snoring like crazy. And that's not who you normally are. And you're always tugging at your t-shirts now because they feel too tight. And I'm always tugging at them. And so she can rattle off 3 or 4 behaviors that I know what the ultimate signal is that I'm out of control with my eating, or I'm using eating to soothe something that's going on in my life, or whatever that happens to be. And the fact that she loves me enough to say, there's a full picture here of my husband that's not whole, and I'm not okay with that because I love you. That's very different than, oh my God, you got fat. I don't even want to be with you anymore. Or, God, you're lazy. Go to the gym. That's one of those going to shut me down. And one of those is, all right, I'm going to get with somebody because I know the answer. Good God, I work in this industry. Like, I know the answers, but I need to get on the phone and call somebody. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to do whatever I need to do. Or I'm just going to suck it up, start going to the gym, even though it's going to be uncomfortable for a few weeks until I get the thing going. But it's rooted in love and compassion, not in judgment and blame.
Yeah, it's all about how it's delivered and the reasoning behind it. And like I said, she knows.
Yeah.
She's not stupid. She knows she's put weight on.
Yeah.
And so browbeating her with it and telling her how she should do it and what she should do, not helping.
Yeah,
Jenna?
it definitely, for me, it would be harder to hear. Just at the age that I am, closer to like my teenage years and like growing up, I grew up in a household where everything I ate was nitpicked, how I looked was nitpicked. So it would be hard to hear it. But if it came from a place of like love and like in a way where it wasn't like, you're doing this, like very derogatory, you know what I mean? I think I could understand it and cope with it. I would just need time.
Gotcha. I would just need time. Awesome. Which also is I'll leave it at this. When you're frustrated about something like this, something about your partner's aesthetics, something about your partner's health, it is never a good idea to have that conversation right then. It's not, because everybody's charged up. You're charged up. You're emotional. You're coming at it, and somebody who's struggling with any of these issues is instantly going to respond to that. And so a lot of what you've put on here, fatigue, exercise, weight, lack of intimacy, rejection, turning you down, a lot of those things are all like a pie piece that you pull out one piece and the whole thing crumbles. They all work together on this thing. They all work in sync together. And so, Dean, here's how I would start this conversation. I'm sorry. I can commit to you, I can promise you that over the last 6 months, the last year, last 2 years, I've become judgmental. I've become short. I've become frustrated. I've become angry. I've become all these things. You're my wife, and I love you. I'm sorry. I'm worried about you. I've got my own struggles and my own feelings, and we can talk about those things, but I need you to hear me say I'm sorry. Most importantly, I love you, and I'm worried about how tired you are all the time. And I'm committed to being a part of this family and to going all in. I'm going to cut back the time at the gym. I'm going to cut back time fixing cars in the garage or playing guitar, whatever it is. I'm going to be plugged into this home. Whew. I'd love for you to go on a walk with me at night. If you need to go see a counselor, if you want to make some space for being with friends. But I feel like I'm losing you to my phone or to your phone. I feel like I'm losing you to the television. I feel like I'm losing you to Netflix. And I'm struggling with attraction. That's me being as honest as I can. And I love you. I'm not going anywhere. But it would be dishonest if I told you I'm not struggling with that too. Let's start there. Dean, you're going to sit in front of your wife and you're going to hold up a mirror to yourself and you're going to describe to her what you see. And that's going to provide her permission to say, well, this is how I feel and this is how I've experienced you and this is what I'm going through. And from there, y'all can create something different. Maybe. And if your wife's just a jerk, then you got to take that head on. But my guess is she's probably not. She's probably just done. And it's from that ash that y'all can plant something new that's going to bloom and flower down the road. Hang in there, man.